Hey, it's Danny from ProjectManaverse.com, and in this video, I'm going to share 3 powerful techniques to become a better project manager. And I know these techniques work because I've done them all myself to become a better project manager. So first of all, why would you want to become a better project manager? Well, if you become a better project manager, your project management skills increase, your competencies increase, and because of that, you can take on the bigger, more complex technical projects, and the senior leadership in your organization will trust you to deliver those bigger and more complex projects. And if you get into a nice routine of getting them done on time to budget, their trust in you, their senior leaders' trust in you will grow, and your reputation in your department and the business will grow as well. And you'll become in demand to get those big projects done. If a project is in trouble, they might call on you to come in and sort it out. So it's good. It's a good feeling to become a better project manager. And once you are in that position, that's when you can start getting paid more money. It will just naturally happen. You'll start to progress through the company. You'll take on bigger project management roles, but you've also got leverage to negotiate a better salary as well, because you can demonstrate that you've delivered all these big complex projects in the past. You've delivered on time to budget, and because you've delivered on time and these projects have not been late, you've probably saved the company a lot of money in terms of run costs and fines for being late and all that stuff that comes with a late project. So you have a bit of negotiation power when it comes to getting a better salary. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, it just is better to be good at what you do when you're just a person. It's good for your self-esteem. So if you can go into work and you know that you're very, very good at your job, it's good for your self-esteem. It's called self-efficacy, when you know that you can do something well. And that makes your life so much better because you spend most of your time doing your job. So if you can be very good at it, it's very good for your self-esteem, very good for your overall quality of life, and it will impact other areas of your life as well. So it does pay to be good at your role, and you should take it seriously, treat it like a craft. So in this video, I'm going to share those 3 powerful techniques to help you become a better project manager. And I say they're powerful because these techniques are what I call high leverage, meaning that if you do one thing, it impacts many areas. I like to think of life and everything in life as a big system. So you've got this huge system that's all working, there's lots of cogs in the wheel, and basically if you impact one area or one part of this system, it will impact the other areas whether you realize it or not. Take for example, let's look at your health, for example. Let's say you're training, you're exercising, and let's look at your sleep. One impacts the other. So if you get better sleep, that means when you wake up in the morning, you've got more energy, you're more energized and rested. That means you can do a bigger workout and a stronger workout. If you do a stronger and bigger workout, that means you are putting more energy in, and it means by the end of the day, you're going to be more tired, which means you're going to get a better night's sleep. So they feed each other. It's a cycle, it's a system. It's basically systems thinking. So what we want to do is look at the entire system of project manager and being a better project manager, and finding those cogs that if you impact those cogs, they will impact all the other cogs. So there's high leverage things. You could just try and improve one area in isolation, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But that's not very high leverage. You want to find the areas, the low-hanging fruit, where you improve them or do something, some kind of technique, and it will disperse throughout everything, the whole lot, the whole system. So that's what I'm talking about in these videos with these 3 hacks. So are you ready? Hack number 1 is get a mentor. Now, a mentor is really, really powerful, very, very useful. And a mentor is someone there who can help guide you, give you advice. And ideally, you want to find a mentor that's obviously in the same job family as you, and ideally they progressed in their career above where you are to a level where you want to be. So if you're a project manager, maybe you want to get a program manager as a mentor. If you're a program manager, maybe you want to get a program director. But you want to get someone that's experienced, someone that's good, that's got a good reputation, and someone who wants to be a mentor as well. You can get these schemes in organizations where you sign up to be a mentor, and sometimes that's just done as a tick box exercise. I like to avoid that and just try and find someone in the organization that you really look up to, maybe not even look up to, but you do admire and respect, and you know they're good at their job and they've got a good reputation, you've seen their results and they can produce results. That's the person you want, and you want to just approach them directly, send them an email, or even better, just go up to their desk or give them a call and just speak to them, explain your situation, say you're very passionate, you're keen to learn, and you're looking for a mentor, maybe like an hour of their time every 2 weeks or half an hour a week, whatever it is they can afford to give you. It'll be very helpful. Now, these people, if you get them on side, they can be really, really helpful for several reasons. As I said earlier, they can give you advice and tips. They can be a sounding board for you if you want to ask some questions or just get something off your chest in terms of struggles you're facing or challenges you're going through with your project. That's very useful. They can help you build a career plan and guide you towards that. And also they can help you in terms of getting the better projects. They can open up doors for you in terms of your career progression. They can put in a good word with the department. If they're quite senior and they've got a lot of clout because they're good, they can really help you if you've got a good connection with them. So I recommend getting that mentor. It really, really help you, because in terms of your career, they will open up doors for you. They will make you see opportunities, and they will put you on challenging paths that you would not have done so without that mentor. And as I say, because of all that, it's going to filter down to all the other areas of your project management skills, because the conversations you're having, the things that you're thinking, and the situations you're being put in will start exposing you and forcing you to upgrade those skills anyway. So it's a really good technique. So that's technique number one, is getting a good mentor. And just one quick tip: if you get a mentor, make sure you never miss an appointment with them. You always listen to what they say. Don't argue with them or say, oh yeah, that's not a bad idea, but I like to do things in this way. Or just don't listen to them. Make sure you listen to everything. Write down what they're telling. If you're in a one-to-one with them or having a little coffee catch up, take notes as you're going through. Don't just be the person that sits there nodding and doesn't write anything down, because they'll register you're not writing things down, you're not listening properly. So make sure you value their time, and if they ask you to do something, you make sure that you do it. Okay, if they ask you to do anything, just do it, get it done, don't question it, just do it. Okay, so that's tip number one, is get a mentor. Tip number two is to take on a stretch project. And what I mean by stretch project is a project that is pretty much just outside of your comfort zone. So you're not quite ready for it in terms of experience or capability, but it's a stretch project. So you know you're going to have to level up through this project, and your current level, you wouldn't really necessarily have the right skills or experience to deliver it really well. Doesn't mean to say you can't or you won't, but it just means it's going to be a stretch for you. You're going to have to put in the extra work on this project compared to someone that's done projects like it in the past. You're going to be a bit more outside of your comfort zone. You're going to feel more anxiety, but there is no better way. This is probably the most powerful of all three to level up all your skills than just by going up to your portfolio manager or your boss and saying, I want a stretch project that's going to challenge me and push me beyond my current limits, because that will force you, as long as you're serious about it, it will force you to level up. You won't be able to help it. It's just something that will happen naturally. And you have to have the right attitude. You have to want to succeed. Otherwise it won't work. You'll just suffer and suffer slowly. But you've got to have the right attitude and have the confidence that you'll get through it. Because if it's painful, if you're feeling anxiety, that's a good thing, because you know you're learning and you're growing from it. And if you're making mistakes along the way, that's fine as well, because you're learning through those. If you're just coasting along with the project and you're not struggling and it's easy, you're not learning anything, you're not leveling up. That's why I like to be in struggle. I like to have that feeling of anxiety, or even more so in the early days when I was more new to project management, because I knew I was growing from it. The first big major project I had as a senior project manager, it was a huge stretch for me. Big budget, big project, very complex. It was a nightmare. It was horrible. It took about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I can't quite remember now. But it was just pain through the whole thing. But at the end of it, when it was all done and finished, wow, it was worth it, because I upgraded massively from that one project, and if I hadn't done that, it could have taken me years to get to the same level on just easy projects, just building up the difficulty of each project slowly. So make sure you take on a stretch project, and if you have a mentor as well and you've done that first tip, that makes it much easier because you can share those struggles with them. You can talk about the challenges if you're faced with a difficult decision or you're not sure what to do. You've got someone to go to who can really help you, and they'll be pleased to help you and give you advice on it as well. Okay, so that was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is the last one, and that is to try and find a team of high-performing project managers. There's always a team somewhere in the organization that's got a reputation for being very good, and you want a team of project managers, and what you want to do is just get near them and sit with them. Ideally sit there. If they've got a bank of desks, just ask if you can sit with them for 1 day a week, because just by being around these people, their attributes will rub off on you a little bit. It's that old saying, you become who you surround yourself with you, and if they are all above you, they will automatically pull you up to their level. If you sat with a team of really poor project managers and they all had bad habits, sooner or later they're going to drag you down, start putting you down. But the opposite is true. So if you've got a really good team, sit with them, speak to them, listen to how they talk on the phone, listen to how they run their meetings, listen to how they conduct themselves when they're talking to each other in their team meetings, maybe join a few team meetings and learn from them and have conversations with them. And through time, you'll form those connections and you'll start to become one of them, and their good habits will lift you up. And again, very easy to do. It's just a high leverage technique, but if you do it, it will impact all those other areas we talked about. If you can get these 3 things in place, and there's no reason why you can't do it now, then that's really going to accelerate your career massively compared to just plodding along and just being reactive and just doing the projects that are given to you. Okay, that's the video. So I'll do a very quick recap and then we'll call it a day. High leverage technique number 1 is to get a mentor. They're very useful. They're very helpful. They can give you advice. They can be a sounding board, and they can open up doors for you, and they can make you see things in different ways that you would not have seen them before. Technique number 1. Number 2 is take on a stretch project that's difficult, that's outside your comfort zone, that's beyond your current skills and capability, because that's the highest, the best thing that you can do if you want to improve your skills quickly as a project manager. Technique number 3, find a high-performing team in your organization, and I'm sure they'll be open to it. Just find out who the leaders of that team are, tell them your progression plan, tell them you're trying to improve as a project manager, and tell them you're trying to just be around a high-performing team to hear how they perform and interact. I'm sure they'll be flattered and they'll welcome you, and they might even give you opportunities. You never know. Okay, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this one. And until tomorrow, please take care.